Alright, I'm finally going to take the time to update my pedal board, and from a pedal train, as you see before you, to the Voodoo Labs Dingbat that includes the PX8 switcher. So this has been on my list for a while, so I'm going to document the transition from here to here with all the basic effects pedals that you see there. Also on the bottom I've got the Voodoo Lab 4x4 power transformer that's going to have to be moved as well. Okay, so you see I've removed all the pedals from the board, and I have attached the pedal power to the bottom, which attaches with an existing bracket that's on the center, and then a little silver one that attaches to the unit and then onto the board. Okay, so here's my initial layout. I just kind of threw them up as I thought I might want to have them. This Freak Out pedal is not going to work well on the looper because it's a momentary switch that needs to come on and off. Okay, I've put the Velcro on the board, fuzzy side down, and used an X-Acto knife to cut out the overlap on those ovals. Okay, I'm starting to put the pedals on the board here. I got to my Eventide H9, and I've consistently had problems with this slipping off the board, so I'm redoing the Velcro on the back, and I'm going to use a hair dryer, as I've seen about heating up the Velcro before you put it onto the pedal. So I'm going to do that right now. I'll spare you the listening to the hair dryer. Okay, Velcro installed. It looks like it went on much tighter. You can even see here where the legs used to be that it has a much tighter fit. So we'll see how this fares next time I carry this to a gig. Alright, I've laid down all the pedals in their initial position. That may change as I go along here. And it seems to be holding. So I go vertical on this. Next step is to do all the wiring into the PX8. And I'm going to make all those cables by hand. Okay, this is my soldering station here for creating the patch cables for the pedal board. I've got Switchcraft straight and angled plugs, and I bought some 2319 Mogami cable online, 20 feet, that I'm cutting so that it actually is the right length under the pedal board. And I use the multimeter to check the cables after I make them. I've gotten better as I've gone along. At the beginning, I'm kind of spaz solder, but everything gets better with practice. This is what it looks like so far. Here's the final board, all wired up with the audio and the electric cables. I've used cable ties to clean up the cables underneath. Alright, it's been a few months since I finished the pedal board, and I'm finally getting around to finishing this video where I wanted to light it up, put it in the amp so you can hear how all the pedals work together. Since I started the project, I made a few changes. I replaced the Phase 90 with this Phase 95, which is a combination of a Phase 45 and a Phase 90 in one package that's smaller. And the TC Electronics Reverb, I replaced that with this Echoplex delay. And then now when I need reverb patches, I just use a patch in the Eventide H9, and it's not that often that I use reverb on my live rig. I should say this pedal board is set up for not using an effects loop, and so if I was to go back to using an amp with an effects loop, I'd have to really change how I was doing things here. And this loop switcher thing is really not set up for using an amp with an effects loop. So given that, I use a plexi style amp with kind of a mild breakup, and then I use the overdrive pedals to push it over the top. Let's check it out. So it's kind of at like an AC/DC level. Which cleans up nicely. I'm just roll back down to about 4. The Echoplex is in patch 6. to leave that on most of the time. Then in patch 1 is the compressor, which helps out with clean sounds. Also on some country picking type stuff. Pop there. Patch 2 is the tumnus, which is a clone, so you can hear the game without it. Then patch 3 is the Timmy pedal, which has a little more gain to it. If I want to work them together for even more. In loop 4, we've got the phase 90. That's a lot of fun. Then loop 5 is the Strymon pedal, and that's a tap tempo pedal here, and this knob here controls the level, the mix level. By holding down the tap, you can get that runaway delay effect. And then I can use this in combination with the Echoplex to get kind of a double echo thing that works well on some things. Patch 7 is the H9, and the main effect that I use in there is the rotary, the Leslie effect. That's controlled by this pedal here. The freak out pedal is the first thing that my guitar goes into, and that is not in the looper, and that pedal creates a feedback effect. And it's activated by this momentary switch here. You get an interesting effect if you slide around a note that's feeding back. I think that's pretty much it. All in all, everything seems to be working well for me. I should point out that the way I use the looper is a random access, meaning each loop I can hit as I want them. They're not programmed into any combinations. You can configure the looper so that you have patch bays that remember combinations of effects. So that's it. So hopefully this was helpful, and good luck to you in your music and your pedalboard endeavors.